what is going on? If this is your first time checking out my channel, my name is EJ and this is Anchor Overland. For this video, I am heading up to Big Bear, California to do some camping and off-roading. If this is your first time coming to my channel, please drop a like and a sub. It costs you nothing and it helps me out, helps me grow, which would be greatly appreciated. A little bit about myself. I am active duty Navy. Jeeping and off-roading has been a passion of mine ever since I was a kid. My grandmother bought a 95 Jeep Wrangler YJ off the lot. And ever since then, I was born into the life, basically, because I was born in 96. And my entire life, I've been jeeping and off-roading. And now I get to share the passion with you guys. So, welcome to the journey, and I hope you guys stick around to see me grow and to see me grow, I guess, and live maybe vicariously through myself, as I'm sure, you know, as I know for a fact I did. I lived vicariously through channels like Trails Off-Road, Trail Recon, Ozark Overland Adventures, The Story Till Now. For those of you guys who don't know Big Bear or Southern California, or for those of you guys who aren't from the United States, Big Bear is primarily it's a ski town. Most of their tourism and business comes during the winter months, because contrary to popular belief, it does snow in California. You just got to be at the right altitude and got to be far enough north. So Big Bear has 2 or 3, possibly more, ski resorts. I'm not sure. I don't go skiing. It's not really my thing. I have no sense of balance whatsoever, and I would fall on my ass. I know that for a fact because I tried skateboarding one time and fell on my ass. But yeah, so Big Bear, there's technically 3 cities up here. You have Big Bear City, Big Bear Lake, and Foskin. But during the non-winter months, Big Bear is a haven for off-roaders, Jeepers, Toyota fans, when they're not broken down in the garage. And yeah, there's 3 Jeep Badge of Honor trails up here. You have Holcomb Creek, you have John Bull, and you have one more. I can't remember what it is right now. Gold Mountain Trail. So 3 Badge of Honor trails up here. The trails don't close in the winter most of the time. However, obviously the roads are maintained. They're dirt roads and they're fire service roads. They don't get plowed. So in the really heavy months, you can see upwards of 2, 3, maybe more feet of snow on these trails. And most of them are not accessible because of that snow. Now, I have been coming up to Big Bear for about 3 years now. I have been stationed in beautiful Southern California since 2021. Oh, no, 2020, I'm sorry. 2020 is when I got stationed in Southern California. And I have been coming up here pretty much ever since I got my Jeep, which I got my Jeep in February of 21. My Jeep is a 2021 Eco Diesel JLU Sahara High Altitude, so I don't have lockers just yet. And I think in the future I am going to install some lockers, probably air lockers. I do have a built-in twin ARB for my tires. It's attached to the Kraken from Epic Off-Road Adventures. It is a Canadian company. It is the home of KC250 and Sean from The Story Till Now. If you guys found my channel, I'm assuming you guys found theirs as well. Yeah, it's a great system. So I'm thinking about doing air lockers when I upgrade to new gears. Right now I'm rocking 373s, which are factory on Dana 44s, front and rear. That's gonna be down the road, possibly a year or so away. Funding is kind of tight right now, seeing how I am living off of a military paycheck, which also, contrary to popular belief, we do not get paid a whole lot. And yeah, like I said, I come up here all the time. I know these roads pretty well. I know the trails pretty well. And there's a few really solid camp spots. Now yes, there are a bunch of established campsites ran through the National Forest Service. However, I tend to do more primitive camping. So there's some locations called Yellow Post sites. Yellow Post sites are campsites established by the Forest Service, but they're not maintained. They're free, no cost. You just have to be lucky enough to find one. I'm hoping that the Yellow Post site I really enjoy camping at is open. It is currently 2:30 on a Friday, and it is also a holiday weekend. It is National Indigenous Peoples Day, or Columbus Day, depending on where you live in the country and how progressive your state is. However, in California, we are very progressive in this state, and we go by National Indigenous Peoples Day. We have made it to the trail. The trail is 2N09. This trail is actually really nice. It's a simple, easy trail that leads to a bunch of offshoots. This trail connects to Holcomb Valley, which from Holcomb Valley you can access all of the Badge of Honors trails, and a bunch of offshoots that go deep up into the mountain, down into a valley. Really beautiful. But let's air it out. So I have the TerraFlex Nomads. So just have to And just like that, all 4 tires are down to about 16 psi. That's what I have my Nomad's quick deflation set to down to. And now we are trail ready. Alrighty, so 2N09 starts off as a really light white trail, white dirt. Kind of makes you think of the beach, how fine and white the sand is. Then after about a mile on the trail, you get into really dark soil or dirt that during rainy seasons is a pretty thick mud. There might be some clay mixed in. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that when I come up here after a really solid rain, the mud just cakes everything really well. And this trail starts off at just about 7,000 feet elevation. You won't really get above 7,500 feet elevation, at least on the trail that I run, leading towards camp. This is a very easy trail. Pretty much all of these Big Bear trails, with exception of the Badge of Honor trails, can be done in a stock Jeep, a stock Wrangler, and pretty much any vehicle with good clearance and at a minimum all-wheel drive. These roads lead to a bunch of the established maintained campgrounds. You can either come this way through 2N09 or come directly in through Holcomb Valley Trail, and pretty much 99% of these trails can be run in 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and solid ground clearance. So pretty much anything except for a sedan and smaller crossover SUVs. But I have seen personally Priuses up here doing these roads, at least the main roads. There's an offshoot that I am going to take, which you guys will see, that does require a decent amount of clearance, but still nothing that a stock Jeep Wrangler can do. Stock Jeep Wranglers come factory with really great departure and approach angles, and that starts on the Sport and goes all the way up to the Rubicon. Obviously, if you guys have a Rubicon, your clearance is going to be a little bit better than not clearance, I'm sorry, your approach and departure angles are going to be a little bit better than the other Wranglers, because you guys have the options of going straight from the factory with 35s and a small lift. I personally ran this trail countless times before I had upgraded my suspension and put on bigger tires. But it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, what size tires or lift you have. It's all about the adventure. So by all means, if you had just bought a Jeep Wrangler or any off-road capable vehicle, I highly recommend just taking it out stock before you upgrade anything to see what she can do. I've seen a lot of people who, they buy a vehicle like a Jeep or a Bronco or a, Tacoma, any off-road pickup, and they immediately, before even seeing dirt, will go ahead and put on a 2, 3, 4-inch lift, 35s and 37s, and they never actually take the vehicles out stock to see what they can do stock. If you aren't going to be doing a lot of excessive off-roading, so you might not need to upgrade to a bigger lift or bigger tires. Maybe just switching out the stock all-terrains for a more beefier off-road tire, keeping it the original size, which is for most Jeeps is about a 31-inch tire, will get you far enough. I have seen plenty of stock Wranglers, stock suspension, where they just put on a beefier tire, maybe a tire with a decent sidewall, and they do pretty much 95% of the stuff that I do. So everybody has their own ways to decompress. For some people, that's all it takes is sitting on the couch at home, watching a movie, snuggling up. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes that works for me. But for me, this is how I decompress. Whether I'm having a really shitty week or it's just been a long week, I come out here to Big Bear or to Anza Borrego or to Death Valley, and as soon as I get out and I air down the tires and I start driving on dirt or sand or rocky roads like this, or rocky trails, it's like all of the stress and all of the frustrations and everything that was, been weighing on my mind just evaporates. And that's just, I guess that's today's mental health tip. Find something that makes you happy, something that makes you forget about work, forget about the struggles, forget about the bills you might have to pay. By all means, I know the frustrations of, not knowing how you're gonna pay a bill, or not knowing, how you're gonna put food on the table. I grew up extremely impoverished. Grew up with not a lot to my family's name, and through me joining the military and some smart decisions I made, I've gotten out of that. But even now, there's some months that something comes up, something breaks on the Jeep, or I gotta buy new tires, and I have to figure out how I'm gonna come up with $2,000-3,000 to take care of these costs. But once I come out here and I see these mountain views, I see the trees, I breathe in the fresh air. Being trapped in the city for so long, you don't realize the smell of the city air. You come out here and you smell the fresh pine, you smell the the wildflowers that are slowly starting dying off. It just does a mental reset. So yeah, like I said, just find time for yourself, and find time to just relax and unwind, whether that's a glass of wine, watching TV, whether that's watching football or washing your car. Just do something for you. You spend your entire life at work, and you spend your entire life doing things for others, working a 9 to 5, or maybe a 9 to 9, for somebody else. Every now and then, just do something for yourself. So, as fate would have it, the campsite I wanted to stay at was taken. I pretty much expected it. Honestly, I hit it kind of late, and like I said earlier, it is a holiday weekend, so stuff happens. That is the risk you take when you're staying at a dispersed campsite that is not reservable, not an actual campsite. Luckily though, where we are, there are plenty of dispersed campsites. I like that one in particular because it is, like I said, it is a yellow post. Yellow post campsites have a picnic table, and they're typically flattened out, which makes it really easy to open up a rooftop tent. But like I said, it happens, and it's part of the adventure. So I am currently backtracking back up the way I came, and I'm heading towards Holcomb Valley, where I know of some pretty good spots. Guys, I have my tent all set up. I thought I recorded it, but like a klutz, I didn't. But let me give you a recap of what you missed. You missed me struggling for about 10 minutes to get these damn windows to stay open. So I've had this tent for about a year now. Probably gone out and used it 7 or 8 times. But this is the first time I've ever put those these poles in to you know, open up the sides. I kept leaving them at home by accident and never got around to finding them and loading them into my camping gear. But yeah, that's set up. Got a workout, got a sweat. Did put on my Dirty and Dangerous Safety Second jacket. It is about 62 degrees. It's gonna get down probably to the high 30s, low 40s tonight. So definitely wanted to be warm. Good morning, guys. It is currently just after 7:30 in the morning. It is also a brisk 37 degrees. So pretty chilly. Slept pretty rough. I don't have a diesel heater in my tent. I do have a sleeping bag that's rated for 40 and below. Well, rated to go to 40 below, which helped a lot. But it was still definitely pretty chilly. Gonna make me some hot oatmeal for breakfast. And then gotta pack up the tent. And then get back on the trails. So today's plan is a simple one. I am going to follow Holcomb Valley back up to Big Bear. Probably get a bite to eat, probably some coffee, and then we'll see from there. Alrighty, so on the trail that I am on, Holcomb Valley Trail, there are a bunch of checkpoints you can do. It's part of like the Gold Fever. It's a Gold Fever Trail. It has like 15 checkpoints you can do, and some of those checkpoints include a cabin that used to be part of a huge, not huge, but a small mining town, a grave site of a miner who used to, mine up here, and an old mine. I have not gone and found the mine just yet. That might be for a future video. I might come up here and just do the Gold Fever treasure hunt, essentially is what it is, and record that. But if you are coming out here on a day trip with your family, maybe a child or even a spouse, or even some friends, it is a nice little Easter egg hunt for you to do. Where the cabin is, where I filmed a video just recently, which is the walkthrough video, or walk around video and review of my Wrangler. It is a huge, open, beautiful meadow, and during the spring and early summer, it is just full of yellow, purple, and red wildflowers. You might even get lucky and see a deer and some jackrabbits running through the field. I will say, if you are going to come up here and do the Gold Fever, treasure hunt, be mindful, especially around the graves of, the miners and the prospectors that are buried up here. Remember, that is someone's final resting place. That is where, a body is, and treat it as if you would treat a cemetery. And that also goes with just regular trail etiquette. Tread lightly is a movement that is really beneficial to these trails. essentially pack in, pack out. So whatever trash you bring in, take with you. If you're at a campsite or you're at a common picnic area to eat lunch or to take a break or to, you know, stretch your legs and walk your dog, and you see trash on the ground, I implore you, I actually, you know, I beg of you, pick it up. These trails that are maintained by the state and the federal Forest Service, they don't have to remain open. These roads can be closed by the Forest Service and by the State Park Service, and to only be used as fire service roads. That is what these trails are. These trails are fire service roads that are used to get in here to fight fires. Now, the Federal Service, the Federal Forest Service, and the Bureau of Land Management and the state, they allow these places to remain open so people like us can enjoy them. But they don't have to do that. They are graciously allowing us. They could save a lot of taxpayer money, and they could also save a lot of salary, a lot of money that they're paying to these rangers by shutting these roads down, by blocking the gates, posting no trespassing signs, and imposing heavy fines for trespassers. But they don't. They understand that just like they have a love for nature, that's why they became rangers. They understand that people like us love the outdoors. They love seeing these places. They love getting away from the noise and the hustle and the pollution of the cities to explore and to camp. So don't ever take that for granted, okay? And that also goes not even for like off-roading. That goes for nature in general. By no means am I a Greenpeace conservative hippie, but I am somebody that knows what pollution can do to a country. I have been to parts of the world on Navy deployments where they don't have an EPA. They don't have organizations that dictate where trash can go, and they don't maintain nature, and it shows. There's plastics, there's human feces, there's food waste that is just thrown all over the place, down riverways, down waterways, on beaches, on mountaintops, mountainsides. Don't be like them, okay? If you're gonna enjoy nature, enjoy it, and allow your neighbors, allow your fellow citizens, allow people that are coming to these places from other countries, from Canada, from Mexico, from Europe, from Australia, for Christ's sake. Where I am right now, last year, a bunch of Aussies came to explore Big Bear. And if Big Bear was close to them and they weren't able to come up here and enjoy this, then they would have wasted a lot of money and a lot of time driving, shipping over their Australian rigs, and spending time on money on plane tickets, and taking time out of their schedules to come up here. Alright guys, I have made it off the trail. I am about to air up my tires and then head back into town, into Big Bear, at least Big Bear City. Don't know what I'm gonna do after that, but this is probably gonna be the end of this video. So let's air up, and then I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in to Anchor Overland. Hope you guys like and subscribe so you guys can follow along and see the rest of my content. I promise, I know this one was kind of rocky, was kind of amateur, if you will, but I am gonna work my damnedest to improve the quality, improve the editing, and keep you guys entertained.